Good evening. This is the Cortez City Council work session. Today is Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025, and the time is 6:45 p.m. I'd like to call this meeting to order, and we'll start with A on our agenda. I'd like to invite Charles Borchini Jr. to the podium for the Planning and Zoning Commission interview. All right, and then the microphone will have a button at the front that says push, and then just make sure the green light turns on the microphone. All right, thank you, Charles, for joining us. So what we'll go ahead and do is we've got a set of questions for you, and we'll just kind of go down the line asking you our interview questions.
Sounds great.
Okay, and we can start with Councilmember Randall.
Welcome. Can you please explain your interest in becoming a member of the Planning Commission for us?
Sure. I've lived in Cortez for about 5 years, and I've watched a lot of things happen here in the city, and a lot of good, some bad. I saw there was an opening here for the committee, for the Planning and Zoning Committee, and it really interests me. It's important to have a good laws, good structure, good regulations in order to promote, positive growth and sustainable growth for the future. And I do have a little bit of experience. I'm a law school graduate. I went to the University of Baltimore School of Law in 2005. Among topics studied, I studied real estate and real estate law, and I think that's applicable to this position. And other than that, I'm open to other questions if you guys have them.
What do you consider the chief functions of a planning and zoning commission?
Well, the whole point of zoning and planning is to have a relationship between the people that live in the city and the industries that work in the city, and how the residents and the businesses cohabitate for positive growth. And sometimes there's friction, sometimes there's problems, but I think that it's important to have a clear law and a clear structure for zoning so people know what to expect and how to build for the future for our city, how to plan for more growth, and how to have smart planning for the future. Thank you.
What do you think is the biggest planning issue currently facing the city?
I think we need to become, our city needs to become more pedestrian friendly. I think we're a very transient town, and it seems like it's easy to go from one end of the town to the other pretty quickly and not appreciate, what we have here to offer. People don't stop, people just, go right through. And I think it's important to have something where a location where people can come and visit and live and have a positive experience. And I think it's hard to do sometimes when people are just blowing right through town. And we have to create a structure where, businesses can grow, where people can have a safe community, and where there's amenities for the people and also for travelers to stop and to stay and to leave some of their money and to promote our city.
What key contributions would you make should you be selected to serve as a member of the Planning Commission?
I think it's important for us to volunteer to the community our skills. I enjoy reading, I enjoy research. I enjoy studying, other cities, other plans, things that have worked, things that have failed. And I think I could be an important voice, to, I guess, the diversity. I've lived in a lot of different places. I grew up as a military brat. I lived all over the world. I was born in Alabama, my brother in California, my sister in Asia. I lived a lot of years on the East Coast. I lived in Nevada. I lived in Colorado since 2018. So I've seen a lot of things in my life. And I think those diverse experiences can bring something to the table.
Thank you.
Okay, well, planning and zoning meets on the first Tuesday of each month at 6:30 p.m. and a second meeting could be called on the third Tuesday of each month if needed. Work sessions are held at 5 p.m. occasionally. Would you be available to attend the work sessions and meetings? If yes, understand that some projects will be controversial and or require significant preparation time. Do you have the time to devote to this?
Yes, I do. I'm a bachelor, and I'm able to devote whatever time is necessary to helping the city and serving the city.
All right, thank you. That's all the questions we've got for you.
Thank you for your time, and I appreciate it, and thank you for the opportunity.
And we really appreciate your interest, so.
Have a good night.
We'll be appointing tonight, so.
Okay.
Okay. We are gonna move on in our agenda to B, the Historic Preservation Board interviews. I'd like to invite Diane McBride. All right, and then.
Good evening.
How you doing? As you know, we're gonna just go through our set of questions, and we're gonna start with Councilmember Kiefhofer.
Welcome. Thank you for being here this evening. Do you have any personal experience with historic preservation projects? And if yes, please describe.
Yes, I have had quite a bit of experience with historic, mostly prehistoric preservation. I directed the Cultural Site Stewardship Program under Southwest Colorado Canyons Alliance, under the BLM, under the San Juan Mountains Association for almost 20 years, in which I directed about 125 sites to be monitored on Canyons of the Ancients and other places in the Southwest. I had about 60 to 65 volunteers at any one time. That's probably the largest one. I've done a number of archaeological surveys, mostly on private land, some on BLM land over the years. Let me think what else. Quite a bit. And I've been sitting in on the Historic Preservation Board since February, just as a volunteer there.
Diane, how do you see the historic preservation as a benefit to the community?
Cortez has a really interesting history, and it's one that should be told to the public, especially our own people and our youth, so that they feel that pride of our community. It's one that, even though it's not a real long history, it has many, many exciting people and places involved.
Thank you.
Hi, Diane, good to see you.
Good to see you.
How would you explain historic preservation to a Cortez resident?
Historic preservation, again, is something that would benefit our community, benefit local pride in our community, as well as possibly even some tourism, for better or for worse. But to have the people who come to visit here know that we are more than just Mesa Verde, that Cortez has its own unique factors. And to explain it to our local people would hopefully instill that pride and help with fewer incidences of vandalism, that type of thing.
And what do you know about the history of Cortez?
The history of Cortez, I've done a little bit of reading on that and a little bit of study. I know that it was established in the 1880s. Prior to that, it was supposed to be taking place down where about Mitchell Springs Community Group now is. Prehistoric sites. I know that the Backstrom brothers built the Wilson Building, or the Stone Block Building as it's known. Quite a few things have happened here.
I've got the best question out of all of them.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. What is your favorite building in Cortez?
Okay. I think it's a tie between two of them. I think the Bank Building and Calkins are my two favorites, and it delights me that both of those buildings have been preserved and have been reused as a part of important parts of our community, with KSJD and the Sunflower Theater, and then the housing that is now at Calkins. I think it's just really exciting to be able to see these buildings that are so much a part of the history of Cortez given new life.
Great, those are the questions we had for you.
Okay. Well, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your interest. All right, and then we'll move on to, do we have our next interviewee? Okay, we'll move on to the next item until they show up, because we are right on schedule. Okay, we're going to move on to D on our agenda, a presentation for Tri-City Soccer by Ben Burkett.
Speaking of the devil, just being next to who I am.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, no, good evening. I think some of you know who I am, some of you don't. I'll just quickly introduce myself. So I'm Ben Burkett. I'm currently the president of the Tri-City Soccer Association. And I thought it's about time we come talk to y'all, just so you're aware, because you all may not know it, but Parks is already providing support for some of the things we do, and it's just wonderful. So I just thought I'd just share just kind of general our mission statement. I have my notes here, so I apologize if I look down and I'm not looking at each of you in the eye, just to keep me on track here. But our mission is, in general, is we're a not-for-profit. Our goal is to provide a athletic, specifically soccer, for kids of the area, the region. The goal is to develop soccer skills, but also, for confidence in kids, teamwork, camaraderie, just anything that you want to help develop youth with. And with that is, we've just a little background, I guess, is Tri-City Soccer has been around for a long time. And a little tidbit, I don't know if you know what Tri-City stands for, what it meant, where it started from? Most folks will probably say it's probably Cortez, Dolores, and Mancos. I found out the hard way. It was actually Cortez, Dolores, and Dove Creek. That's where Tri-City came from. And that's quite a long, long time ago. In fact, I played Tri-City soccer when I grew up. My brother did, my sister did. And now, daughter and other kids here. So during COVID, there was a hiatus. Tri-City went on a little break, right, for COVID for about 2 years. So I was charged with some other volunteers to get it started again. We got it restarted about 4 years ago now. We started our first year in the spring with about 235 kids. We had a record-breaking registration this fall with 475 kids. Now I had to do a little research and a little tidbit for you. That's about 1 in 7 kids in the county that's playing soccer. We are, one of our goals is to, anybody who wants to play, we want them to play. And so with that means we try to keep our fees, we don't want to increase them. We are at a point now where I think we have a good happy medium where we're able to be sustainable, pay for what we need to. For example, we have a league coordinator who's actually paid by us, and she's doing a fabulous job, and she's making us more professional every day. We are playing 4 nights a week. We have 2 seasons, should start back. We have 2 seasons, a fall season and a spring season. We play 4 nights a week. We have so much interest that we're able to separate based off of gender. So boys play Mondays and Wednesdays, girls play Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, because I'm the president of Tri-City, I get to say who plays when, and I did that intentionally because we like to play nice with other activities in the area. So I knew Girls on the Run for most of the area, they are Mondays and Wednesdays. So we wanted to offset that to help with them as well. So we have this season about 43 coaches. They are all volunteers. So if that gives you kind of an idea, and it's hard. Just ask Emily over here. She does a fabulous job getting volunteers, but it's difficult. So there's that. Let's see what else here. Out of the 475 kids I mentioned, a good chunk of them are from Cortez, but we also have Mancos, Dolores, and then we actually have Pleasant View, Yellow Jacket, Cajon, Dove Creek, Toyac, Egnar, I think is one of our farthest kids. So we got kids coming in from quite a ways. I think last spring we had someone coming out from Red Mesa, I think it was. So what is that, an hour and a half maybe? Just to play soccer with us. Let's see here. So volunteers, I just want to stress it because they're awesome. We can't thank them enough. And then what we're doing today. Now, for how the city's helped is Parks Department has been fabulous with mowing, painting fields, moving goals, because they have to help us get set up every season. I will admit, every spring it's a little contentious. We're ready to get going, but we have to wait for snow to get on the field or that last snowstorm to get out. So we're often, we're trying to work together in a positive way, but sometimes you're just like, oh, I'm pushing on each other. What can we do? What can we do? But it seems to work out in the long run. I'd probably say this fall has actually probably been the smoothest it's been. So again, I see Creighton over there. So Creighton, just again, thank you to you and your team out there. They're fabulous. And we're also looking forward to the continued relationship. So not only just continue doing what you're doing today, but we also have to at some point get on to managing the inventory of goals and stuff out there. So they are actually owned by the city of Cortez, is what I've discovered. We've bought a couple goals just because we've been in dire need of goals. But we can't keep affording goals every year. So they do have to get on some sort of rotation. And Creighton and I have talked about it briefly just to get it on his radar because, as you know, I was the finance director for a little bit. I get the budget process. So, you got to go through the process. I understand it. But we really would like to say, hey, is there some sort of upkeep that we can do where we have an inventory and then we can just keep transitioning them out? That's probably the biggest thing that I would say, that it's not a hurdle or anything. It's just something we got to be aware of as we go forward. Let's see here. I think that is what I have. So I can pause and are there any questions or anything I missed, Emily?
Ben and Emily, I just really want to say thank you. My son is in his second season in the under 4 league, and it's just been a real pleasure playing. It's very affordable and stress-free, and the coaches are wonderful. So it's been a great reason to get everybody outside, and Emily does such a good job with communication, and I just really appreciate that.
Yes, we couldn't do it without her. We tried for 2 years without her. We did it, but it was hard. So now, not that it's not any easier, but we have someone who can focus on it. But I'm glad your little one gets to play. It's fun. Because that is a goal, is to keep it affordable. Just knowing the demographics of the area. We would like to do more. We do scholarships today, but we'd like to do more scholarships, and we'd also like to do whatever we can to keep fees down. Because as you experience, as you know, in your own day lives, and as you're getting to the budget season here, everything's going up, right? Same thing for us, costs are going up. And so we're just doing whatever we can to keep them down. So we're gonna try and look at a sponsorship program here to help do more. And along those lines, I don't know if you're aware, we also have a scholarship program for high schoolers. And this last year, we had everybody who applied, as long as they followed the rules. In other words, they actually followed the instructions on the application and were upstanding, which they all were. They all got a scholarship from us. So I think it was about $500 per student, and there were 7 of them. So,
Ben, I have a question. You mentioned you have roughly 470 kids, and you play in the spring and the fall.
yep.
How many of those kids play each fall and spring?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's weird, I will tell you. It's about half. It's every season we have about half the kids come back, half the kids drop off, and then they come back the next season, the fall. So there's a little swapping that happens there. I don't know if that's because of other sports or if it's families just because it's just another outlay. They can do it once a year, not for the full year. I don't know the answer to that. We would like to eventually as well as expand it to older ages. You know, it'd be great if we could do for adults at some point. But that's for another day. That's not our main goal right now. Our main goal is for the youth.
Have you or are you planning to apply for the city's community support grant program?
We applied last year.
On a functioning level, how many goals do you have running at a time? And I know that Creighton could answer that, but since you're here, I'm going to. So how many goals, how many fields do you have going at once?
That's, what do we have? 14 fields? We have 14 fields, and they're all ages, from U4 all the way up to U15, so full-size field.
So in those, how many, about how much does a goal cost and about how much does it last?
Yeah, in general, the warranty on them are about 5 years. Pricing will vary, but the goals that we just bought, because we expanded our U15, so we needed another U15 size goal. Those are the really big ones, like full-size adult goals. So they're going to be more expensive. Our recent quote that we bought was $5,000, and that was full delivery, taxes, everything. So it was pretty reasonable. The year before that, we bought a smaller goal, a U10 goal, and it was actually about $5,400, oddly enough. So I think we finally found a good quality goal at a good price. So, yeah.
How much do you charge for your kids to participate?
Yeah, so we have an early bird fee, which is $55, and then if you're late, it's $75.
Okay.
And we offer the early bird for quite a long time. So for example, we'll start October 1st, we'll open up registration for the spring. It'll be then, and we decided we'll keep early bird through mid-January, and then we'll go to 75 for about another 15, 30 days. And oddly enough, everybody registers, let me put it this way, 3/4 of the kids register late, the last day. The last day.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. We really appreciate it.
You bet. And I just want to stress it enough, again, just thank you for the support from the city to date and with the parks. They've just been fabulous. So thank you again, Creighton. Appreciate it. So
Sounds like an
have a good evening.
Thank you, Ben. All right, do we have our interviewee here, Lex Johnson? Okay, then we'll move on to E on our agenda, general council discussion. Any topics folks would like to bring up?
I just wanted to mention something that's really cool. Last Wednesday, Councilmember Lewis and I were at the Cortez Cultural Center, and we attended the first, or I guess the inaugural celebration called Cortez Celebrates. And some of the people that they highlighted were people who for a very long time have served on nonprofit boards and done a variety of things. So I just want to mention who those people were. It was MB and Chuck McAfee, Jack and Judy Schoonemeyer, Vanjie McCoy, and Rose Juergens. And it was really, nicely attended, and I believe they plan on doing it in the future. So yeah, keep an eye out next year. It was really great.
Thanks, Matt. All right, anything else? Should we wait or end this?
I would say this is actually part of the test, is showing up on time as well, so I would say end it.
Okay. All right, we're gonna end the work session and we'll start our regular meeting at 7:30. Thank you.